Hey guys, today is Friday, November 5th, and we are at Crazy Town. Straighten that out a little bit. It's hard to tell sometimes my head ain't on straight. I only got one eye. Excuse me. But anyway, we're at Crazy Town. Today is Friday, and Chuck and I got in here uh, just over 24 hours ago. We got in here yesterday about 1:30, and I don't know, we're 1:45 right now on Friday, so yeah, we've been here a little over 24 hours, and I didn't do my typical opening video of when I got on site because I'm gonna try and do things a little differently. A little easier to have a conversation after been here a little bit and and talk about some of the experiences we had last night. And hold on, forgive me. I roll my own cigarettes, and sometimes the cherries like to fall off them, and I had to make sure that this was safe because I am sitting on leaves. Um, yes, ashes, butts, they go in the ashtray. Anyway, let's get back to this. Um, my next video that I make after this, I'll have my conversation that I've been wanting to have with you guys. Um, but anyway, I am out here. Dedicated Squatch trip. No cutting firewood. No, this is a dedicated Squatch trip, and I'm going to briefly touch on the activity last night. Um, Interesting nonetheless. And I real quickly I want to give a shout out to my new subscribers. Thank you for subscribing. Um, my channel is if you're looking for photos and proof and all if you're looking for proof for their existence, this may not be the right channel for you. I am not here to prove anything to anybody. I'm just here to share my experiences and my thoughts on the subject. um, to date, I haven't done an hour count yet, but since summer of 2017, I am over 8,000 hours boots on the ground, with interactions. I can literally say every night I'm out, even during the day. Um, I operate differently than most. Um, More of a habituation type deal. I don't use cameras. I don't try to take pictures. I don't try to get video of them. I am out here to learn about them, from them. I'm here to develop trust with them, and I have, through them, earned what I've learned. It's been a blessing. It's been a pleasure, and it's far beyond what most people could fathom. Um, I have coined a phrase: do not let your paradigm dictate your experiences, let your experiences dictate your paradigm. And that is very important because this subject matter on, and we hate the term Bigfoot. Um, Bigfoot, wait a minute, what'd you call me? My name's Daryl. I love it. Anyway, I refer to them as the forest people. They are not some dumb ape running around the forest, somehow managing to elude everybody. They are a people. Um, they are a people that have abilities that far supersede our capabilities. We and people who come out with me, but most of the time I'm completely alone. But my group of guys, our group of guys, it's not even mine, it's ours, it's all of us, even you guys out there. Um, it's just amazing what we've learned. Um, I haven't touched a whole lot on it, um, but we're going to dive into it. A lot of the supernatural aspects that you hear about these individuals are absolutely 100% authentic. We have communication with them, and when I say communication, we're not like, hey Steve, how you doing? Hey, I'm doing good, Fred, so forth and so on. It's not like that. It's telepathy, mind speak, and majority of the time when you get mind speak from them, it's not like I'm sitting here talking to you right now and explaining things. They're real brief with what they have to say. For instance, last night one of them was around us, fairly close. I got a little hello tingle, um, which is a very 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 mild zap. We just call it a hello tingle. It's like, hey, we're here. Um, and that's how they let us know that they're around. And I could hear him moving around off in the bushes, him or her. I believe it was a her actually, but I clearly got mind speak, and I didn't ask anything, but I clearly got mind speak. I happy you are here. Um, and that's a pretty good conversation from them. They're real brief, real to the short to the point. We ask them questions all the time. We don't always get answers. One of the things that we have found is that if they don't answer us with anything, that's typically like a negative, a no, um, something to that effect. They just won't answer. Or if it's something we're not allowed to know, they just won't. They'll just cut it off and go quiet. So that's how the communications go. And sometimes we get answers in ways that we're not expecting. Just real briefly, I had asked over and over and over again, about how they deal with the different temperature climates, say like in Siberia and the jungles and the swamps and the desert, and how they deal with that. And I'd asked them several times and never really got an answer until I was sitting here uh, with Chuck and my neighbor Scott. And you can come on over, Wayne. Um, I'm sitting across the creek from the camp, and but we were sitting here, and it was cold, especially for at that time I was a desert rat. I lived down in the Phoenix metropolitan area, and I couldn't feel temperature all of a sudden. I had hand warmers in my pocket. I could feel the texture of them, but I couldn't feel any heat. I couldn't feel the cold temperature outside. It was temperature neutral. And they not only did that to me, but they did that to Chuck, because I was telling Chuck and my neighbor exactly what I was feeling. And Chuck says, hey, will you do that to me too? And pow, just like that, they did it to him. So sometimes you get answers in ways that you're not expecting. And and you get that in life in general. You question yourself on something, and then 5 months down the road you get an answer to it in a way that you're not expecting. But yes, so there's communications that we have with them that are like that, and it's everything is entirely up to them. They do what they do, and they do it. um, we see them in the solid form. We see them in what I like to refer to as a distortion or a shimmering image. In the community, they call it cloaking, and I've stated over and over how I hate the term cloaking because it, automatically makes, you know, turns you to the sci-fi side of things. But in essence, that's kind of what it is. It has to do, we believe, with vibrational frequencies and the way that we see things, and that somehow they're able to manipulate that vibrational frequency and come in and out of what our eyes are capable of seeing. Um, so last night, um, we had the shimmering images in the camp. At one point, we had what we believe was a juvenile sitting in one of the chairs. The chair was sitting between Chuck and I, kind of in a quarter horseshoe position because we're sitting around a fire ring, no fire, no lights. And he asked, Chuck had asked me, he says, "Hey, look at the chair." And I look at it, and he says, "I can see the arm that's closest to me of the chair and the front part of the chair, but the side closest to you is distorted." And I'd looked and I said, "Yep, you're absolutely right. The arm that's closest to me, my side of the chair, I could see just fine, but Chuck's side of the chair, was all distorted. It's like this wavy pattern, and so you know, we are absolutely convinced we had a young one sitting there in the chair next to us. A little bit after that, there was a distortion that was directly in front of me and directly in front of Chuck, which would have put it directly over the fire pit that we were sitting around. And a little bit after that, there was one behind him about 15, 20 feet. And this one was interesting, because, like I said, it's just like this wavy pattern. Um, the movie Predator is almost dead nuts on to what it looks like when you see it. And but this one was a little different because it had some colors coming in and out of with that wavy pattern. It was pretty spectacular to see, um, but didn't have a whole lot in the line of zaps last night while we were up. Chuck will tell his story a little later. Um, but it was about 8:30. We had some campers come into the campsite. I've done the tour of the campsite before. There's 5 camp spaces in here, and they're down at the far end. But they came in at about 8:30 last night, and everything kind of quieted down. And about 9:30, we called it a night. Um, and I went to bed, and it was about 10 after 1, somewhere right in there. Something woke me up, and just the opposite side of the tent from my head, I could hear 2 of them talking. It was right outside the tent. And I was like, "Well, hey guys." And I was out cold. Whether I fell back asleep that fast or they knocked me out. And I've had them put me to sleep on multiple occasions. Um, you can go back, watch all my videos, and find them. I'm not going to tell the same stories over and over all the time, um, but that's what I believed happened. Is they put me back to sleep, and somewhere around 2:15, somewhere right in there, I woke up again. And on either side of my head outside the tent, my head's by the corner of the tent, so on opposite sides of the one corner, what it sounded like was there was 2 kids sitting next to each other, maybe watching a movie, and eating out of a bag of popcorn. The microwave popcorn. I could hear paper rustle. I could hear, the crunch, 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 and a little bit of this. But I don't know what was going on, but it sounded like 2 kids eating popcorn out of a bag of popcorn. Then I went back to sleep. I was back out. Um, Woke up again a little after 4. Had to turn my heater on because it was cold out here, and I'm not getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning, and went back to sleep. Got up at 6:30, and I woke up feeling like $1,000,000. I mean, I have not felt this good in a long time. So whatever was going on last night, they were working on me in some way or another. Um, but my back, my knees, my ankles, which have been hurting quite a bit, um, I feel fine. I have, like I said, I haven't felt this good in a while. So I got up, went and started the coffee, got our morning fire started, because we'll have a fire in the morning to warm up. And I went to turn off my audio recorder, and I forgot to mention that I run audio recorder every night, but I don't run video. Brand new batteries in the audio recorder, and my audio recorder was off, so I hit the power button, and they drained the batteries on it. They do that a lot. They'll just turn it off, or they'll drain the batteries out of it, and other than that, they don't seem to mind the audio recording, and that's how I have audio recording of them speaking in their native tongue. I have them speaking English. They've said my name. If you want to hear some of the audio recordings, I have put a couple of them onto SoundCloud. You have to go onto SoundCloud under my name, which is Kevin, last name Kehne, Kehne, and I may put a link to that if I remember when I get home. I'll try and put a link to that SoundCloud so you guys can hear some of the stuff that I recorded on audio. But that was the gist of the first night. Chuck had pretty similar experiences, and he's taking a nap right now, and maybe after he gets up from his nap, we'll put him on camera and let him tell his side of last night, and it's we got Wayne in here now, and Rob and a few others should be here in a couple of hours, and so we're gonna have a full campsite. It's gonna be a good time, and I am just so grateful to be up here with an eased mind and doing what I love to do with people that I love to be with in areas I absolutely adore. But so that's going to be it for this video. We're going to be making more, and so there you have it. Love you guys. Peace out.